Welcome back to my channel. This is Nikki of Nikki's Homemade Crafts. We're back. This is part 2 of the linked crochet mystery crochet along, and we did this part in part 1. So you didn't see it, go back and watch it and go ahead and do part 1, and then we're going to do part 2 today. For part 2 you're going to need both colors, so I'm going to just show you on the gray because it's easier to see, and the color currant is very hard to see on camera, so I'm just going to do it on the gray. But you're going to use both colors. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but you're actually going to make the exact same piece twice. So whatever you're doing on the gray, you're also going to do on the currant. So you have 2 pieces in the end, okay? So let's get started. Just like in part 1, I am going to show you part 2 in a small swatch so it's easier for you to see. But what you're going to do is you're going to make it a little bit smaller this time, okay? So you're just going to have 28 chains. So it is actually 26 plus 2, okay? So that's what you're going to do. What we're going to do is this time you're going to use linked half double crochet. So it's very similar to the linked double crochet, just in this case it's half double, okay? So you're going to do the exact same thing in the beginning. So 2 of the chains are going to be for the foundation of the first linked half double crochet, okay? So we're not going to count the first 2 stitches as anything, okay? They're just there to stabilize the stitch. So you're inserting your hook into the second chain from the hook, yarn over and pull through, and then insert it into the next stitch. Remember, we're going into the back bump of the stitches. We're also going to go in rounds for this one, okay? So we're going to need that. So go into the back bump. So now that we have 3 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Just like for the double, we're going to need that center piece. Now here it's a little squished, right? So because it's a half double crochet, it's a little bit smaller. So you're still going to go through it though. So we're going to use that horizontal bar, which is almost, diagonal in this case here. So you're going to go through it, yarn over and pull through. Okay. And now insert your hook into the next stitch or chain. Yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. So for the linked half double, you're always going to use that center piece. So let me point to every single one. So you have here a loop, and here a loop. You're always going to go through that center one, okay? So in order to link it to the next one. So go through the center loop right there. Yarn over and pull through. And then go into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops and finish it up like a half double crochet. Now go ahead and finish it until the end of the row, and then we're going to work on the opposite side. I'm going to do my magic again and snap right to it. All right, so now you should have 26 stitches because remember we're not counting the very first 2 chains, and then because you start with 28 you should have 26 at this point. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing as we did in part 1. So you're now going to work down here. So we're going to turn 180 degrees and continue on. And the only thing that's different is going to be the very last stitch. So I'll show you. So again, you're going to insert your hook into that horizontal bar as before. And again, you're going to insert it into same stitch because this one has 2, right? Just like all the other ones have 2, this one also has 2. So you're going to insert it and then finish it up like a regular half double. And now you're going to continue on. So you're going to go through these, you're going to go through the V's down here, and you can weave in your yarn here at the same time. And then just do your linked half double crochet stitches. Now continue that until you have 1 stitch left, and I'll show you how to do that part. So you have 1 more stitch left. So you could do it exactly the way we did for the linked double crochet, but this one is a little bit smaller because it's a linked half double, and it will be more smushed if you do it the way we did for the linked double. So in this case, we're just going to do a slightly different version of a slip stitch. In this case, I'm doing the invisible slip stitch. So we're just going to do a regular linked half double crochet for the very last stitch. And once you're done, you're going to do the invisible slip stitch. So pull up your loop so it's a little bit bigger and take your hook out. The only reason we're making it bigger is so that we're not losing it. Now insert your hook from the back to the front of the very first linked double crochet, okay? which is right here. Now I'm going to take my loop, put it around, and then I'm going to pull it through. And there we go. So now that you have your slip stitch right there, you're going to continue out with your rounds. So again, chain of 2, insert your hook into the second chain and pull up a loop, insert it into the first stitch, pull up a loop, and finish it up like a regular half double crochet. Okay, and now you're going to continue on doing the exact same thing for 10 rounds. Okay, 10 rounds. But then you're going to switch to rows. So I'm going to pretend I just did 10 rounds, and now I'm going to just show you how to do it in rows, which is pretty much the same thing, just that we're not doing slip stitches and we're only doing one side. Okay, so now that we did one stitch, so pretend I just did 10 rounds of the linked half double, and now we're just going to go into the rows. So this will be row 1, and you're just going to do linked half double for row 1. And you're going to do it until you have one edge to another edge, and it's flat. So it's probably going to be about 27 stitches. So instead of 26, 27, just that it's a little even. And you're going to see that because, you know, of the tilt that happens a little bit. So you're going to do 26 or 27 so that you're going from corner to corner. Okay, so from one corner here to another corner or edge. And once you have the very last stitch, you're just going to turn and you start over. And you're going to do your chain of 2 and insert into second chain from the hook, insert it into first stitch, and then finish it up like a regular half double. And you're going to do that until you have 3 rows. And that's it. So let me show you how that actually looks like now. And this is how it looks like once you've done both pieces. So obviously it's easier to see on the gray here. So I did 10 rounds of 26 times 2, so that means 52 stitches in a round of linked half double. And then I switched to doing rows. There was 3 rows that you're doing. Okay, still linked half double, and you can see how it kind of bends out a little bit, which is because I added 1 stitch. That means instead of doing 26, I did 27. I didn't per se add one, I just took 1 additional stitch on one side. Okay, so it's 27 that I used here. And I did the exact same thing for the other color. So you have 2 pieces like this. Okay, so gray and currant, and they look exactly the same way. And this is part 2 of the mystery crochet along finished. So be sure to show your pictures off in the Facebook group with the corresponding hashtag so I can see you and celebrate you. And I'm really excited for part 3. And if you have any ideas yet what we're making, please leave your suggestions in the group. Tell me what you believe it's going to be. That kind of keeps the mystery alive, which is really fun. And I would love to know, what do you think we're doing? So we have this one, and then we have these 2. So yeah, this is part 1, this is part 2. So what do you think we're making? We have 1 more part to go. There's something else happening. So we're going to crochet a little bit more in part 3. And remember, if you are watching this as a replay and it's, you know, days, weeks, or years after, you're going to see part 3 happening right here. There's going to be a pop-up showing you part 3. Otherwise, it's going to show up when it's available. And if you sign up for my newsletter, for this mystery crochet along specifically, you're going to get a reminder email when part 3 is available. You get early release. So remember, it's important to sign up so you have the pattern available immediately as soon as it's there. And you can also have an ad-free version. If you haven't seen that yet, I'm sure you have. So there's 2 ways to get the mystery crochet along. One has ads and it's free on my website, and one does not have ads and it's in my membership. So you have 2 options to get the pattern, the written format of the pattern. Which one are you picking? And I hope to see you back in part 3. So see you then. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I'm publishing a video or go live. Now go ahead and watch the next video. You're going to want to, I promise you do.